In the heart of eastern Africa, where the Rufiji River weaves through wild plains and dense bush, ancient forces have always been at work. But between 2002 and 2004, something emerged. Or perhaps something that always lurked, waiting. A predator that would terrorize entire villages, stalk entire families, and leave a string of devastation in its wake. His name was Osama, not given for any act of human violence by the man who shared that name, but named by terrified villagers after hearing of Osama bin Laden on distant radios. For them, this lion's attacks were sudden, merciless, and deadly. Osama wasn't just any lion. From 2002 to 2004, he roamed across 8 village territories in southern Tanzania. Over those years, he was accused of more than 50 human beings, men, women, and children, in attacks that left survivors in shock and villages in mourning. On a humid night in late August 2002, near the village of Mwaseni, a woman lay asleep inside a temporary field shelter known as a dungu, her family's crops spread around in the darkness. Stepping out in the night, she never returned. The lion and his companions struck with terrifying speed. One moment she was there, the next, nothing but silence. The villagers found only ragged remains, dragged into the tall grass. This was not an accident. This was murder. A little more than a week later, near Ngorongoro village, Osama's pride attacked again, ambushing a young man who screamed for help as villagers rushed out, only to watch him dragged screaming into the bush. He became victim number 5, the 5th human life claimed, and the point at which villagers began to grasp that something unnatural was stalking their nights. As the rains began, the lion's hunting methods evolved. On November 12, 2002, near Kipugira village, the pride broke into a mud hut, the sanctuary of a sleeping family. A 7-year-old boy named Saeed Mwenawala was stolen from his mother's arms in the dead of night. By morning, villagers found only his skull, a chilling reminder that nowhere was safe. In Kipo village soon after, another attack added to the nightmare. A 65-year-old man named Ali Amuli Titu was set upon in his ground-level shelter. Neighbors shouted and waved torches, but even their noise drove the beasts to frenzy. Mr. Lee Titu was torn from them, another life claimed. Then came the night of November 26th in Kilimani village just after 3 a.m. Saeed S. Matambwe heard his wife's cries and ran to help. With nothing but light and shouting, he confronted the lions, not knowing he was facing death itself. He saved her life, but he lost his own. At dawn, the deadly nocturnal visitors scattered, leaving behind a scene of carnage and unanswered terror. With so many killed and entire fields abandoned, villagers and game scouts laid a trap using a victim's corpse as bait. 3 lions returned at first light. One was wounded, another captured in a snare. But Osama, the maneless lion who had become the face of terror, slipped away into the bush, untouched and free. Scientists later studied Osama's remains in history. Some suggested a large abscess on one of his molars made chewing painful, pushing him towards easier prey like humans. Others thought he learned the behavior from older members of the pride. But whatever the cause, the result was the same: a lion that hunted people as prey, night after night, year after year. Osama's reign of terror did not last forever. In April of 2004, game scouts finally caught up with him and shot him dead. He was only 3.5 years old, young for a lion, and far too young to have lived such a bloody legend. He left behind a legacy whispered across generations in the Rufiji area, a tale of a lion who walked with death, who turned human flesh into prey, and who haunted the dark in a way no predator should. Today, the Rufiji Delta stands still, Fields sway in warm breezes, the distant river flows towards the sea. But in the quiet nights, elders still speak of Osama, not as legend, but as a reminder that in the wild, the boundary between humanity and the natural world can sometimes be a razor's edge. Be wary when you walk near the bush at dusk, for the shadows remember.